I am telling you IAS is very easy exam, but if you just believe in this, it is not going to help you. You need to understand why this exam is easy. If you can believe, you can start, but if you can understand, you can achieve. You know that I have divided environment into 5 parts: introduction, wetlands, biodiversity, climate, environmental laws, environmental movements, environmental organizations, etc. Of course, current also will be covered in this only, don't worry. So, we have started wetlands. I further divided this into 3 subparts: introduction to wetlands, coral reefs and mangroves. So, we already have done introduction to wetlands and coral reefs. So, this is the third video, that is mangroves. This is also a very small topic, hardly it takes 20 minutes, not very important. Again, you hardly get one question, maybe once in 4 or 5 years. Okay, just फिर भी don't skip it. We learn each and everything. Okay, so let's start this. First, we understand what we will discuss in this topic. So first, I am going to tell you what are mangroves. Then we will understand the characteristics of mangroves. Third, we will see the functions of mangroves or benefits of mangroves, then important mangroves, where they are located. And finally, what is mangroves for the future, MFF. It was in news last year, that's why we will just see mangroves for future, what is it. So these are 5 concepts we will see here. Getting me? I prefer you don't make any running notes, I am against it. In fact, you see, when you make running notes, your focus is on making notes. You listen to it. If you do not understand, listen again and again. Okay, 2-3 times you do this. Then you take a white paper and you write everything, whatever you know about this topic yourself, without seeing anywhere. That is what is much better than making running notes. Never do that. It is my suggestion. Okay, first we will start with what are mangroves. If you see, mangroves are shrubs or small trees that grow in coastal, saline or brackish water. Simple, you can see from the picture. These are small forests, or you can say small trees. They grow not on land, they grow on marine water. That means they are adjusted to such atmosphere or they are adapted to such characteristics, such nature, so they can survive in salt water. Got it? So mangroves are shrubs or small trees grow in coastal, saline or brackish water. Got it? If you see they are salt tolerant. That's why they are surviving in that kind of harsh conditions. So that's why they are also called as halophytes. Getting me? So mangroves are salt tolerant trees, also called halophytes, and are adapted to life in harsh coastal conditions. So they are adapted to such environment, like the conditions like tidal force hoga, similarly salt hoga water mein, kabhi oxygen hoga, multiple things, storms hoga, still they can survive there. They are adapted to such situations. Got it? So this is the first concept. Now we understand what are characteristics of mangroves, how they are surviving in such atmosphere. So such environment mein kaisa reh pa raha hai, ka matlab what kind of characteristics they have. We'll see that. First we understand they are adapted to low oxygen. Even if you know the heading, that is sufficient. We need not go deep into this because we are not doing any research on them. So we are only understanding the basics of environment. So if you know what are mangroves and what are their characteristics, that is sufficient. We do not require how they are doing and all, right? So adaptation to low oxygen. Like you can see from the figure, you see the roots. They are not inside the ground. So there are some roots are outside, and some roots come like out of the land like this, like a shrub. So they have such root system so that even if there is a lack of oxygen, they can take oxygen from atmosphere. Getting what I mean? So especially red mangroves, if you see, which can survive in the most inundated areas, prop themselves above the water level with stilt roots and can then absorb air through pores in their bark. Just for explanation and for my satisfaction, I am reading all this. Otherwise, you need not take any tension. Don't get panic. Just understand, okay, they are adapted to low oxygen conditions. Even if there is no oxygen, they can survive. Got it? This is sufficient to you. So black mangroves live on higher ground and make many pneumotophores. That means specialized root-like structures which stick up out of the soil like straws for breathing. So they have such structures so that they can take oxygen from the atmosphere. Hope you understand this. Second characteristic, if you see, their roots are made in such a way that they limit salt intake. because they are in salt water. So if they start taking salt water, all that salt, what happen, it will be in their roots and trunks. So that's why they limit salt intake. Getting me? Maybe kind of filter like structure will be there, so they avoid taking salt and they take only water. They have that kind of structure. That is sufficient to you. Please understand, exam point of view may. Otherwise, you see, if you want to know in detail, you can read so much. Neither it will help you for exam point of view nor in life. Our life is not only to understand how they are doing. We have to know so many other things also. Getting me? So, third characteristic, if you see, limiting water loss. Their leaf structure is made in such a way that they limit water loss. Because their roots have taken so much of struggle to get good water. Now they cannot lose that. So that's why the leaves will limit the water loss. Hope you understand. This is sufficient to you. And what is written here, just for an idea I have written. If you want to read, you can pause and read it. Otherwise I do not recommend. और मैं ही आपके लिए पढ़ लेता हूँ. Because of the limited fresh water available in salty intertidal soils, mangroves limit the amount of water they lose through their leaves. Obviously, they can restrict the opening of their stomata, pores on the leaf structures which exchange carbon dioxide gas and water vapor during photosynthesis. Getting what I mean? So leaf structure is like this. Those pores, they do not open, so water will not get evaporated. They also, science students will better understand, otherwise no problem. Even if you do not understand, you are not losing anything. They also vary the orientation of their leaves to avoid the harsh midday sun and so reduce evaporation from the leaves. Just like in deserts, how they do, these also have their own way of avoiding water loss. Got it? And finally, increasing survival of offspring. Generally what happens in trees, seeds will fall down, then they germinate and they become plants. But here it's like, seeds germinate when they still attach to the parent tree. Then once the seedling come out of the seed, then they drop down, and once they drop down, immediately they are able to do their own photosynthesis and can get their own food. Are you getting me? So, unlike most plants whose seeds germinate in soil, many mangroves are viviparous. The word used is viviparous, but you see, we learn all these things in science. So, this is just environment. You just understand, okay, survival of offspring. That is sufficient. No need to go dig deep into this. Hope you are enjoying and understanding what I mean to say. So once germinated, the seedling grows either within the fruit or out through the fruit to form a propagule, and which can produce its own food via photosynthesis. So the mature propagule then drops into the water, which can transport it great distances and it become tree there. Right? This is the concept of, these are the characteristics of mangrove forests. Then we will see the functions of mangroves. What are the benefits? First is very important one. They have a very extensive roots. You can see in the figure, the mangrove trees have so many roots, extensive roots, and they are very strong. They do not get uprooted. If they start getting uprooted just for tides, they cannot survive in such conditions. So they are very strong roots, extensive roots. That's why they protect the shoreline. Even they are helpful at the time of tsunami and all. That's why there is a story, there is a, when 2004 tsunami has come, there was a village in Tamil Nadu which was surrounded by mangroves, and that village got very minimum damage because they can stop the tides and all, right? So shoreline protection is one of the benefit. Getting me? Then breeding grounds. Again very important, they are breeding grounds, so obviously important for many species. Hope you understand me. Then if you see timber, even if you use them in proper way, they are helpful and they can be used as constructing houses and all, small timber purpose also, right? So these are benefits of mangroves. And we will understand now important mangroves, where they are located. If you see the distribution, this is all not required, I am just reading for my satisfaction. Mangroves can be found in over 118 countries and territories in the tropical and subtropical regions of the world. The largest percentage of mangroves is found between 25 degrees north and 25 degrees south. Just keep this in mind. See, 25 degree or 26 degree is not important, but understand they are also found extensively in tropics. Lower latitudes you find them. With increase of latitude, the mangrove distribution decreases. This is what the point I want you to understand. Okay, just like coral reefs. Approximately 75% of world mangroves are found in 15 countries. No need to remember all this nonsense. Asia has the largest amount, just keep it in mind, and but this is sufficient, no need to follow. Otherwise you can pause and watch it. Just I am asking you to remember, to understand two things. One is that they are found in tropics mainly. But if there is a statement, mangroves are found only in tropics, you have to say wrong. I am not saying only. Sorry. I am not saying only, I am saying mostly in tropics, and Asia is the highest. This is sufficient, no more information you are required to know. Now if you see statewide in India, West Bengal is the largest, area of mangroves you find in West Bengal. No need to remember the figure, otherwise approximately 2100 square kilometers. But just remember West Bengal is the highest, followed by Gujarat. But at least remember these two. Then Andaman Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, etc. But remember West Bengal and Gujarat. Getting me? Now we will see the important this. Even I forgot to tell you, even you remember, out of the whole mangroves in the world, India had 3% of them. So 3% of world mangroves are in India. Getting me? So 3% are in India and mostly in West Bengal, followed by Gujarat. This is sufficient. Now if you see one by one, Sundarbans are in West Bengal and Bangladesh, and this is the largest mangrove in the world. Not only in India, in the world it is the largest mangrove. Getting me? Sundarbans. Now after Sundarbans we will see Bhitarkanika. Already we have seen it in wetlands also. So Bhitarkanika is the second largest mangrove in India, not in the world. In India it is the second largest mangrove. It is in the state of Odisha, and already we have seen it. Two rivers flow into this Bhitarkanika, Brahmani and Baitarni. Getting me? And it is the place where you find saltwater crocodiles, olive ridley turtles and gharial. Getting me? Then you have mangroves in Godavari and Krishna deltas in Andhra Pradesh. Similarly, you have Pichavaram mangroves, also you can call Gulf of Mannar mangroves in Tamil Nadu. Gulf of Mannar has both mangroves as well as coral reefs. Getting me? You have mangrove forests in Baratang Island in Andaman and Nicobar. Baratang is situated between Middle Andaman and South Andaman. So Baratang, Middle and South Andaman, you find mangroves. So Andaman maybe you find both mangroves and coral reefs. Then you have Gulf of Kutch mangroves. Gulf of Kutch also you find both corals and mangroves in Gujarat. So getting me? Then you have small mangroves like in Maharashtra you have Ratnagiri. Similarly you have in Goa Chorav Island. Chorav Island is on Mandovi River. Mandovi River flows in Goa, and on that river there is an island, Chorav Island. You find mangroves, small mangroves in this island, Chorav Island. Then in Karnataka you have Kundapur. Similarly in Kerala you have Vembanad Lake. You find mangroves over there also, so Vembanad. So these are some small mangroves. Getting me? Now what is mangroves for the future? Last concept. So mangroves for the future is a unique partner-led initiative. It is just an initiative. It is not an organization or something. It is an initiative or it is an action. Done by whom? Not by any international organization. Done by various partners. Maybe NGO partners and all. So mangroves, this is the keyword. What is the keyword? It is an initiative organized by, led by many partners like IUCN. IUCN will handle this. IUCN is the main handling authority, right? So mangroves for future is a unique partner-led initiative to promote investment in coastal ecosystem conservation for sustainable development. Hope you understand this. So to get investments in coastal areas to conserve these coral reefs, mangroves, etc. So this is an initiative. No need to see more, just get an idea about it. Just knowing what is mangroves for future is okay for you. No need to understand much beyond that. Now if you see, it is currently operating in 11 countries. I do not recommend you to remember which 11 countries. It is not at all required for us. And India is one of them. This is sufficient to you. Otherwise, if you want to know out of curiosity, you can pause and watch. But for exam point of view, it is not required. So even nobody is going to ask you whether it is getting operated in 11 countries or 12 countries. We do not require at all. Just have you heard of mangroves for future? Have you heard of this word or not? Is only what I am looking at you. Getting me? So if you know this, and what is it? Just a keyword. Unique led partner initiative. It's a partner led initiative. That is sufficient. And who is coordinating it? IUCN is coordinating it. This much is sufficient to you. Getting me? And what are the objectives? Two objectives. One is to strengthen the environmental sustainability of coastal development. Obviously coastal area को sustainability लेके आना. Similarly, to promote the investment of funds and effort in coastal ecosystem management for sustainable development. उसको environmental sustainability को strengthen करना है and उस पे investment को promote करना है, investment को लेके आना है, right? So these are objectives. This is all about mangroves for future. Hope you understand this. Not very important. If it is important, I myself will spend a lot of time to make you understand. Because, like this, each and everything, so many such things are going on. You cannot know each and everything. If it is in news, or if it is started recently, or if it is something very great, then we definitely learn. Otherwise, also we learn. But we don't waste a lot of our time. We just see and forget. That is the idea of preparing for IAS, if you ask me. Getting this? Now let me summarize what all we have seen. First, we have understood what are mangroves. What are mangroves? These are small trees or shrubs that grow in coastal saline or brackish water. And these are salt tolerant trees. That's why they are also called as halophytes. And we have seen their characteristics. They are adapted to low oxygen conditions. Similarly, their roots limit the salt intake and their leaves limit water loss, and their seeds will germinate when they are attached to parent tree. That means increasing survival of offspring. Then we have seen their functions like shoreline protection because of their extensive roots which do not get uprooted. Similarly, they are breeding grounds, so very important for species. Similarly, timber if used properly. And what is MFF? If you see MFF, it is a partner-led initiative to promote investment in coastal ecosystem conservation and sustainable development. And it is coordinated by IUCN, and it is currently operating in 11 countries, and India is one among them. This is sufficient. You see, whatever you can see in this, now this much if you know, this is sufficient about this topic. Getting me? Now what more to know? Where they are located. Important mangroves. First, if you see the distribution, they are mostly found between 25 degree north and 25 degrees south. That means in tropics. If you increase the latitude, they decrease. And in India, it is 3% of the world mangrove cover, and Asia 42%, which is largest. Now if you see, West Bengal is the highest in India. No need to remember the area exactly. Followed by Gujarat. Then Andaman, AP, Odisha, etc. etc. Then important mangroves are Sundarban, which is the largest in world, and you have Bhitarkanika, second largest in India, where you find Brahmani, Baitarni rivers and saltwater crocodiles, olive ridley turtles, gharial, etc. Then you have Godavari Krishna mangroves in Andhra Pradesh. Then you have Gulf of Mannar or Pichavaram mangroves in Tamil Nadu, where you find mangroves as well as coral reefs. And you find Bharatang between South Andaman and Middle Andaman in Andaman Nicobar. You find Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat, where you find mangroves and corals. Even in Andaman also corals are there. Similarly, you have small mangroves in Ratnagiri in Maharashtra, Goa, Charav Island, and Kundapur in Karnataka, and Vembanad in Kerala. You don't find any mangroves in Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep is entirely made of coral reefs. Hope you are getting me. And you understand, you find mangroves almost in each coastal state. Every coastal state like West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, everywhere you find. But corals you do not find on the eastern side like Bengal and Odisha, you don't find corals. Even Andhra Pradesh, you don't find corals. Getting me? So this is all about mangroves. Now we will see a question which was asked in 2011 paper. The 2004 tsunami made people realize that mangroves can serve as a reliable safety hedge against coastal calamities. How do mangroves function as a safety hedge? That means he is talking of benefits of mangroves. See, even you do not know anything, if you understand the keywords and basic nature of the topic without remembering anything, still you can answer more than half of the questions just by looking at the options. आप हंसते हंसते answer कर सकते हैं. But what you need is that basic understanding. Suppose you see this question, just look at the options. Option A. The mangrove swamps, first understand the question. What is the question? So at the time of tsunami in 2004, mangroves helped as a safety hedge. How they have done it? Option A. The mangrove swamps separate the human settlements from the sea by a wide zone where people neither live nor venture out. If there are no people, then how they are helping people? So it is not help. People are not there. So this is meaningless, right? So people should be there, but these mangroves are protecting somehow. That is what you need to identify. Option B, if you see, the mangroves provide both food and medicines which people are in need after any natural disaster, which is not looking meaningless. After natural disaster, they provide food. Getting me? Wrong. Bilkul bakwas. Option C, the mangrove trees are tall with dense canopies and serve as an excellent shelter during a cyclone or tsunami. क्या cyclone or tsunami होगा तो घर छोड़ के mangrove forest में जाके रहेंगे क्या? Very meaningless. So they are not providing such thing. This is meaningless. Now D, the mangrove trees do not get uprooted by storms and tides because of their extensive roots. Obviously, since they do not get uprooted by the storms and tides, so the tides cannot advance beyond these trees because they reduce the power of the tides, right? Obviously. So that way they help. Only even if you use common sense and have basic idea about the topic, you can answer such questions. That's why I'm trying to tell you, please understand, it is not how many things you remember, it is like what you know the basics, how you are understanding the question, reading the options and eliminating the wrong ones, getting the sense of it. That is what you need to improve. Got it? Otherwise it is very easy question. So D is the answer. So this is all about mangrove topic, very small topic, and hope you understand this. So thank you for listening. Okay, thank you.